What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to this week's video. And it's a bonus video this week. Dropping this one unannounced. We normally drop a video on a Sunday, but this was coming at you on a Tuesday because yesterday was WWDC 2020. And I wanted to go over some of the key announcements that were made by Apple. So if you're new to the channel, I need to make you aware that this is not a tech channel. My channel is primarily based around filmmaking, tutorials and vlogs. So picture this, think Casey Neistat and Peter McKinnon. You got that in your mind? Right, now lower your expectations, a bit further, a bit more. Right, that's where this channel's at. However, I'm a huge Apple fan. We use it at my studio, we use a lot of Apple products. We're well and truly integrated into the ecosystem. So I thought, why not bring you some of the updates announced by Apple in layman's terms as this idiot understands it. And at the same time, I'll unbox my new iMac Pro. So I'm going to touch on sort of the 5 things that got announced that I thought were quite relevant. So hopefully you find it just as interesting as I did. So they launched iOS 14, which is basically, they've managed to update the interface and now we've got like an app library. This isn't going to impress many people who are Android users, but to us Apple users, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, one of the key features is having the widgets on the home screen. Yeah, so having widgets on the home screen, I think that's going to be quite interesting because I think I'd find that quite useful. It's got this smart stack feature as well, where it'll switch between the widgets that you use most. So in the morning it might be calendar, because I know that's what I'd be looking at straight away in the morning, what have I got on during the day, and then later on in the day it'll give you features like your fitness tracking or other key information that you might need going throughout your day, and it'll smart track that and give you what's best suited to yourself. Another thing is that Siri is now a lot smaller. So before, when you used to say, I don't want to say it, hey Siri, it'd take over your whole phone. Oh, I thought it heard me. It'd take over your whole phone, get rid of the screen, whereas now if you say it, it just pops up in the corner and it doesn't just take over your phone. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. And Apple Maps has got a bunch of new features as well. So like the map feature, if you've got an electric vehicle, you can type in the model of the electric vehicle and it'll tell you the charging points on your route, which I imagine if you're an electric vehicle owner, that's probably something you're going to need to know. And one of the other features that really intrigued me was adding cycling routes to Apple Maps, because at the minute you can use Google Maps or Strava or other third-party apps, but now they're adding it to Apple Maps, so that's pretty cool. Ooh, really dropped it there. So another thing that they announced was the new iPad OS. I guess the sort of main gimmicky feature that came away from that was when you use your iPad at the moment, if you write your text onto the screen, it stays as text, whereas the new app will convert your text, if you want it to, if you hold it, it'll convert it to actual text. So rather than having handwriting, it'll convert it to text, which I imagine will be a lot more useful if you're transferring notes between people in your company, clients, all them sort of things. My handwriting's not too bad, but I know that there are some people that write like doctors. They look like they've written with their toes and no one else can read it but themselves, which isn't much use. So I'd be impressed to see if the new OS can figure that one out. Again, with the OS update, you've now got the ability to use your AirPods between multiple devices, and what it's saying is that it will switch between multiple devices as and when you're using them, which I think is super impressive if it actually works like that. I mean, just in this office as an example, we've got, well, at the minute there's 2 Macs, a MacBook Pro, an iPad Pro, we've got all sorts of Apple devices. If that can switch between devices as I'm wearing my AirPods, I'll be well impressed. I found myself more and more using my AirPods for everything, editing, the works. And that's even when I've got these. Look, I actually own some Bose noise cancelling headphones, but I found myself just grabbing these much more than wearing these. I tend to wear these for shooting and filming now, and these ones just for editing, listening to music, going on runs, going to the gym. Incredible bits of kit. So that'll be a really cool feature when you can switch between your different devices. Another feature they announced was the watchOS update, which, believe it or not, is not one that I actually use. I don't wear an Apple Watch. I personally think it'd be a bit of a nuisance to me, to be honest. But some of the cool features that they announced with it was, let's get this off. Yeah, one of the features that they announced was this hand washing feature. So it can detect when you're actually going to be washing your hands and it'll start a countdown for 20 seconds, which is a really cool sort of gimmick, given that we are in the middle of a corona outbreak around the world. So I can see how that'd be a useful feature at the moment. And they also announced sleep tracking, which again, not as an Apple Watch user, but what I've heard is that the battery life isn't that good on them. So I think most people either charge them every night or every other night. Big questions that's being asked is, well, when are you supposed to charge it up? Apparently you need like 30% battery life as well to do the sleep tracking. 30%? You need a third of your battery to be there before you can go to bed and start sleep tracking. That seems like a bit of a commitment to me. But apparently you're supposed to charge it in the morning when you get up, so who knows? So one of the final points I want to make, they're upgrading the OS to OS 11. Big Sir. Sounds like a rapper's name to me. And coming to the stage, put your hands together for Big Sir. Who? Big Sir? So it looks like they've just done a massive design overhaul. It kind of looks like an iPad now. They've got the notification center all specced out in the corner. You can do all sorts of mad stuff with that. But one thing that I spotted, look at this logo. How disgusting is that? What have they done to our poor Final Cut logo? Looks like a 4-year-old's done it with crayons. Not a fan of that, not a fan at all. I wonder if they've done it because, did you notice that Adobe have just updated all their logos? Maybe it's that. But yeah, mainly it's a big design overhaul, a lot more rounded edges. It's got much more of an iPad feel. And finally, they're moving from Intel silicone to Apple silicone, whatever that means. I'm definitely not smart enough to give you any advice on that, so I'm definitely going to wrap the video up here. Just a quick bonus video this week, pointing out some of the key areas that I noticed from the Apple announcements. Some really exciting stuff coming, especially if you are part of the Apple ecosystem like I use and what we use here at my video studio. I hope you enjoyed this bonus video. If you did, hit subscribe. Normal viewing will resume very soon. See you on the next video. Oh, I forgot to mention, go back and watch last week's video where I told you how you can get your hands on some free filmmaking gear. And the competition is still available to win a 500GB SSD. I'll put links to both videos in the description below. We'll see you next time.